30s, we have to have some advice to give. Let's get into all the juicy and dirty gossip. And the rest, well, we'll just figure it out along the way.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Structured Chaos. I'm Kyra, and today we're getting into all of the thoughts that I have been carrying around all week. Welcome back. Hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. Hope you caught up on sleep, on shows, on all of the things that bring you joy. I feel like I'm in a much better headspace than I was last week. So I definitely have more to give you guys this week, which I feel happy about. It's not as if things are perfect, but we just are making do and trucking along. In no way am I saying that everything's perfect, but we're here, we're happy, we're healthy, we're breathing, and we are moving along. I last left off and I told you that my friends were coming to town. So I had an eventful week. I, was on the go. And it's so funny because I was obviously like coming off of a week where I was really inside a lot and I, wasn't feeling so great. And then to have go. The next week I was like, okay, I just want to go back to like not doing anything, which is not looking like it's going to be the case for a little while, which again, I'm grateful for, but it can be overwhelming at times. So my friends got to town last Monday night. We got to see each other starting on Tuesday. So of course, Tuesday was Cinco de Mayo. And my friend she was here for a work conference as a reminder, and her husband had, joined her. And so him and I met up for dinner and to watch the Lakers game on Tuesday night while she was, at her work thing. And then she had come to meet us after. But it was so interesting because, I'm 38 years old. I'm certainly not celebrating Cinco de Mayo like I was in my 20s and early 30s. I remember at one point in life, like I was like, what are we doing for Cinco de Mayo? Like, what's everyone wearing, and like waiting in the long lines and partying hard all weekend or whatever day it fell on. And now I literally obviously knew it was Cinco de Mayo, but do not bother me with a crowd, And so we did pick a Mexican restaurant that was, near their hotel. And I thought for sure that it was going to be packed. He thought for sure that it was going to be packed. The Lakers did play at 5:30, so it was like a earlier time, and we were downtown versus like being in PB. But there was no one there in the beginning. And so it was so great. And he got a seat right at the bar, and the TV was massive. I wore my glasses because how sometimes you go to a bar and obviously, yes, there's lots of TVs everywhere, but they aren't necessarily big TVs. Oh my gosh. This one, I was like, oh, are we at the game? Unfortunately, it did not go well, which I honestly probably the only thing I could figure out as to why is because I was watching it with a Celtics fan. And I think that Nick and his bad juju are causing the Lakers to not win. And, we can't be having that. But it was really fun to watch a game with him because they live on the East Coast, so they don't watch a lot of West Coast games unless they're on the weekends and stuff, because they would have to be up until 1 a.m. So it was really fun to watch a game with him. And then my friend came to meet us, and then we went over to Pendry, and there is just nothing like my friends from home. And that is not to say that I don't love my friends here. Yes, of course I do. They are very important people to me. But of course it's I have a 25-year friendship, with my friend. And it was just so nice. And then one of our other friends from back home, Lauren, who you guys have heard me talk about her on the pod before. I love her kids. I spent the holidays with them. She came to meet us for dinner on Thursday night. And it's when girls get together, it's just like you never have enough time, you know? Like I feel like we were at dinner for, I mean, like a good 3.5, almost 4 hours, but it still like wasn't enough. And just, like the endless laughs and reminiscing and all of the things. And it was actually like really funny because at one point at dinner, I just like sat back and I was like, we all live across the country from each other, and like and it's not as if like the three of us like are able to get together a lot, even if like one of us was back, me or Lauren was back on the East Coast. Like we have so many other things to do. Like we're not necessarily like all getting together. And so, it's like you pick up right where you left off, and it just seemed like we are together every single day, And so it's like those moments in life that I really, 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 truly appreciate and value. And I'm just like so grateful that I've had these people to experience friendship in this way. It was just like so nice. And then I do have to tell a really funny story about what happened to my friend. So she lives up in North County, and she has this like new found love for taking the coaster down whenever she has to come downtown. And so her husband and her had taken the train down a couple weeks ago to go to a concert, and they live in like a really nice area. And so they like just like drove to the train station, and they said, like, okay, like if we drink a lot, like obviously like we'll just like leave our car here, but if not, like we'll come back and get it, after they Ubered home. And so they ended up, not going to get it that night. And when they went to go get in the house, my friend realized that she had left her keys in the car. And so they were just like, like whatever, like it'll be fine, again, because they live in like a great area. So her husband went to go pick the car up the next morning, and he called her and he was like, okay, well, like the car's here, but I'm pretty sure someone like broke in and like maybe like took it for a joyride or something. And so she was like, well, what like makes you think that? And so then he proceeded to send her a picture, and the car is parked horizontally, like through in the parking lot. And she was like, we didn't park it like that. And I'm like, yeah, no, I know you didn't. I know you didn't. You don't need to like disclose that. Like, I'm pretty sure I know you didn't park horizontally in these spots. But nothing was taken in her car. Oh my God. But it was left in park and the battery was dead, which like, how do you leave the car in park and it not roll? Like, isn't that why we put our, and when I say the car was in park, I mean the car was in drive. So like how does it not like go anywhere else? But yeah, so she ended up having to get a new battery and a good story out of it. And she was like, I'm pretty sure someone fucked in my car. So that is a reminder for everyone that no matter how old we are, we need to be responsible and check if we have our cell phone, our keys, and our wallet upon exiting at any point in time. And then just trucking right along to the next day as well. I went to my first Padres game of the season. I know I had talked about that before, that I was excited to be going. I mean, we're almost like 2 months into the season and I haven't been to a game yet. We were playing the Cardinals. We unfortunately did not win. It was not a great game, but what I did win at was finding a great new food item at the ballpark. It's outside of section 100 for everyone who lives here and is going to go to a game. It is this like short rib sandwich. Oh my goodness. So me and my friend got it. We shared it. It was so good. Like we were both like, I don't know if we should be this excited and enjoying it this much, as if like we've never had a sandwich that tasted good before. But it was so good. And we had great seats, and it's just like I think that I have for sure talked about this before. Like Petco Park is just such an incredible stadium. And her husband is like a huge, sports guy, and he has been to it before, but it's been like years and years, and they're always renovating the ballpark. Like essentially like one space gets done, added, revamped every year. And so we walked in and like we were just like walking around, and both of them were just like in on. Aaron has been to it before as well. When my girlfriends had come a couple years ago, we all went to a game. But like honestly, like Padres games are just so fun. Like even if you don't like baseball, you don't have to be watching the game. Like there's just so many things that are going on, and they do such a great job with like the big screen and like doing like crowd interaction things. It's just like such a fun time. Then we went out after, and oh my gosh. Okay, so wait. Also too, my friend had like wanted to take like a pedicab all week long, like wherever she was. She was like, I just want to take a pedicab. And I had explained to her, I was like, oh my gosh, like they are so expensive, because I remember that one time, my friends and I were trying to get an Uber after the game, and it was like such a long wait time. And so we were like, oh, well, like, let's just take a pedicab, 2 miles up the road, and then we'll get one from there. No, it was going to be like $150. So we were leaving the game, and I was like, you know what? I was like, let me just like see what the price is. And we asked the guy, I was like, I need like an updated price list, to see like where we're at right now. And he said that to take us to Little Italy, he was going to charge us like, I think it was like $60, which is about 2 miles. Okay. And I get it. You're on a bike, you're pedaling adults, like that's got to be, hard. But $60 for 2 miles, like I don't need to. I'll just get an Uber. I'll walk. I'll walk at that point. So the prices have not gotten better. And I just don't know how or why people would do it. I also thought to myself in this entire process that like work smarter, not harder. Like if I am the operator of a pedicab, like I'm upgrading my vehicle to an electric bike. Like why am I gonna suffer when there's like a solution where I could still charge you a lot, but like really put in no effort or work at all? So that's where I was at. I was like, why are we not like upgrading our vehicle, you know? So if you come to San Diego, don't get duped and get a pedicab, because they are just so expensive. The concept is great. You're riding along, you're in a little carriage or whatever. They got the music bumping, the lights going, but not for no $60. Like, no, thank you. Not in this economy. Not in this economy. Um, you know what? Speaking of this economy, guys, it is rough out here for California and their gas prices. And I understand that everywhere is experiencing a hike in their gas prices, but I went into the gas station by my work the other day, and it was $7.06. $7. Like, I'm 38 years old and I have a career, and I'm like rationing my gas at this point, because I'm just like, what am I going to do? Like, you know what? I actually might get a pedicab, and I might just hightail it 20 miles back and forth to work every day, because what the actual fuck? Like $7 for gas. And like, granted, like where I work is like a little bit more expensive. But I mean, I came down here and my gas that's been I think it was like 607 for a while, is now 642. Like, I just like, what are we all gonna do? I cannot keep doing this. It's like, obviously I need to drive places, I need to go somewhere, but now I need to have an extra $200, a month in gas on top of my $500 more a month for groceries. Like, it is just, something's got to give out here. Not to make this political, but midterms are coming up, local elections, things like that, and it is time for us to have an opinion, because what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? And speaking of what are we doing, I came home. And this is why I'm glad to be a renter and not an owner. You know, they always say like, "Oh, you should rent or you should buy, like you're throwing your money away." Am I throwing my money away? Because I walked in my apartment the other day and I was like, "Why is my microwave on?" Like, that's weird. So I went to like go press stop on my microwave and nothing happened. And so then I opened it and like then it stopped. But if I had it closed, then like the fan was on and it just like kept like spinning or whatever. And out of nowhere. So now I also have a ghost, which is cool. But you know, put in my request and guess what I got the next day? A brand new microwave. So thankful for that because it was annoying to like have like the light on and also like for aesthetic purposes, I had a black microwave before, but like the rest of my kitchen's white. Didn't really bother me. But now that I have the white microwave, it honestly does look like better, more cohesive with everything. So then right back into my long busy week again. My friends left Saturday morning, you know, so we went out after the game on Friday, had a great time. And then Saturday was my friend's birthday and like I was really running on empty because I'm like working as well, you know? And so I was just like, "Oh my gosh, like I don't know what I've got left." You know, like I just like wanted a night to just do nothing and to like perhaps like go to bed a little bit earlier, catch up on sleep, you know, all of that. But it was his birthday, you know, so like I don't want to miss his birthday. And so him and his wife had gone to the Padres game that night. And then he was going to have like a dinner. He was having like a dinner later on. And so he had like texted me and he was like, "Hey, like just like checking in to see." And I was like, I said, "Yeah." I said, "You know, you're not going to be able to get much out of me tonight. I am so sorry. But like, I'm for sure going to like come for a drink. I just like am not planning on staying all night. I just don't have it in me because I also had a really busy Sunday." And so it ended up being perfect because him and his wife were tired and he was like, "Honestly, like we're thinking about canceling dinner." And like he was like, "We're just gonna like stay at the hotel and like we can rain check this celebration." And I am someone who loves to celebrate people's birthdays. Like I think that your birthday is your day. You should be able to do what you want. And like I would never like flake on someone's birthday, but I could not have been more grateful that he didn't want to do anything because I was losing steam. So I will be making it up to him, but I was glad that I did have Saturday night to kind of like regroup because then yesterday was Mother's Day. And so me and one of my besties spent the day together. We started off with Pilates and then we went to the beach and then we went to the movies. And let me tell you something. I'm someone who works out. Okay. We all know I work out. I use my tonal. I use my Peloton. I go to classes. It's obviously not my first time doing Pilates. I do it at least 2 to 3 times a month. Pilates is going to humble me every time. You know, it's like I have incredible leg strength, but when I'm in that class, it's as if I have never used a muscle in my life. And you know, and in the best way too, because it's like if you guys have never done Pilates before, like it is just such a different workout because it's just like slow movements and muscle retention. And honestly, like I stretch at minimum 4 days a week. We did these like hamstring exercises yesterday and like my hamstrings are sore today. And I'm a flexible person. I like wow, like it every single time you could think that you could be in the best shape of your life. You do one 50-minute Pilates class and it's like you have never worked out a day in your life. But it like again in the best way, like it's a different type of challenging. I don't want to, you know, um deter anyone from trying or like make them nervous. Like it's just a different type of hard in comparison to other workouts. I mean, I love it, I love it, I love it, but goodness gracious. And then so I did Legree, you know, at the plaza that I work in, the one that I always go to. And then there's a coffee shop there that I've talked about, Liquid Bean Cafe, and they're awesome. And so we had some acai bowls there and enjoyed it. It was like a beautiful day yesterday. And so my work is like a block from the beach, and so we just like walked over to the beach after, and I never really lay out in Del Mar, because I typically, if I'm at the beach in Del Mar, I'm either like going for a walk or like reading a book really quickly to like, not really quickly, but like to wait out traffic for a little bit. So I don't just like go there and like lay out for the day. It was really nice. We had a great time. Oh my gosh, like I know that it doesn't look like it, because it is like I am someone who tans really easily, but I don't know if you can't really see. No, cuz it all just looks tan. Cuz it is, but boy did we get burnt yesterday. Like, so we went to the beach, and then we like went home, showered, whatever, before we had met at the movies later on. And I just like got increasingly like more red throughout the day. My back definitely got it. And we were like, when we saw each other at the movies, we were just like, oh my gosh. Like, how did we do this to ourselves? And again, luckily, fortunately, the Sicilian, blood in me turns to a tan very quickly. But she sent me a picture this morning, and like her feet are sunburned, and I was like, I don't think I've ever seen someone's feet be sunburned before. But it was a beautiful day. Oh my gosh, like the water is warm, and if you guys don't know, like the Pacific Ocean takes a very long time to get warm. Like, we really don't experience warm water days until like late July, early August. But it was so warm. Like, oh my gosh, like if my friend didn't want to go in, but I went in like a little bit. And it was so funny too, because she's a little bit of a nervous Nelly about things, and she was like, hell no, like this is like, the water is super warm, like this is stingray water. And I was like, oh my gosh, like don't even worry. And I like looked down, and I was like, oh, look, a stingray. And so there was like a baby stingray, which was super cute. And like, I don't know. I just, again, like I am an ocean girl. Like things like that do not scare me, do not bother me. So that was really great. And then we ended our night celebrating Mother's Day at the movies, and we went and we saw The Devil Wears Prada. And it was so good. And I have purposely like been just like scrolling past everything about it, because I didn't want to know. I honestly didn't even know, like, I mean, obviously I knew what the premise of The Devil Wears Prada is, but I didn't know like what direction they were going to be going in for the sequel. And whenever there's a sequel of anything, your expectations aren't really super high, but it was so good. It was so good. And to think that like the original came out 20 years ago. Like 20 years ago? That's crazy. They all look phenomenal. I loved like the storyline. I thought it like closed everything out perfectly. It was just great. It was great. And I was so happy, because as a girly, The Devil Wears Prada is one of my staples. Like, I'm not good at remembering movie lines, and that movie, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, and Sweet Home Alabama are like three movies that are like, to my core, my favorite, and like and like lines that I remember. So I was so happy that it was so great. And oh God, like the fashion, like Anne Hathaway looks so bomb, and Emily Blunt looks so bomb. Like, oh, I love it. I love it. I loved it. It was so great. No complaints, no notes. If you guys have not seen it, you totally, totally, totally should. And then to close out my weekend, I watched most of the roast of Kevin Hart last night. And I was just thinking to myself, like, I have so much confidence. There is no way I would want to be part of a roast. Like, no, thank you. I'll be an audience member. I can laugh right along, but like, no, can't do it. Cannot do it. It was really, really funny though. Like everything that I've seen, everything that I saw up until I think that I still have like 45 minutes left. It's like a really long special. Um, but I thought people did a really good job. I thought, honestly, my top person right now is Pete Davidson. He did such a good job. Like his, in my opinion, was the funniest that I have seen so far. I did see a clip this morning that Cat Williams comes on, and so he like wasn't mentioned at all, nor was he like seated on the panel, so I didn't know he was going to be on, so I am excited to see his but yeah, it was really, really funny. And like I don't know about you guys, but like I grew up watching the roast on Comedy Central. Like I remember, like I've always just watched them. And so Jeff Ross is like the godfather of roasts. He's been a part of them from its entirety. And he actually just finished battling cancer, I believe. Yeah, I think he like is in remission. I don't think he has active cancer anymore. But one of like he's not so much easy on the eyes, some would say. And one of Pete Davidson's jokes was, "You look like my dad if he survived 9/11." And I was like, oh my goodness. Pete did a phenomenal job. Chelsea Handler to me is so freaking funny. Like I have read all of her books. I would never miss a show. I went to see her live. Like I love Chelsea Handler. I don't know. I was really expecting more from her, and I'm so sad about that. I mean, she definitely had some great jokes in there, but overall, I really thought she was going to bring it a little bit more, which was kind of sad, but she looked phenomenal. Goodness gracious. She looks so good. Um, Also like Lizzo was there, which was kind of like a random pick to me. And I don't know why, but like Lizzo bothers me so much. Like she is not a person that I like. I don't know why. I don't listen to her music. I mean, she's never done anything to me. But like even like listening to her like just like talk and like roast, like I was like, no, like get her off my stage. And not my stage. Get her off the stage. Um and I man, thick skin because every comedian blasted her for her weight and what she looks like, and oh gosh, like, and like they were funny, like they like some of the jokes were really funny, but I'm just like, oh god, oh god, oh gosh. So if you guys haven't watched it yet, which I'm sure a lot of people haven't because it literally just came out, definitely you will for sure have some laughs. It's like really long though. I feel like it's like almost like 3 hours, like it's long. Yeah, vastly different from the week prior, in a lot of ways. One of which I was riding high last week talking about the Lakers beating the Rockets in round one. I then said, this series with OKC that we had that was starting on Tuesday was going to be really hard. It is not great, guys. I mean, they play tonight. I've got my stuff on, but it's not looking great. They are down 3-0. And as a reminder, it's best of 7. So tonight's game is make it or break it. No team in NBA history has come back from a 3-0 deficit in the playoffs. So I am hoping that the Lakers are the first ones to do so. I am holding on to whatever delusional hope I need to. And what I think is like so like heart wrenching about all of this is we've been up at the half 2 games in a row. And so it's like we can beat them. And again, as a reminder, we're still out Luca. So we're still missing like 30 plus points a game. Now, I will say, yes, we have lost. Yes, we are down 3-0. But in comparison to all of the other games that are going on right now, like we're staying within. Like we can beat them. Like we can beat them. Like these other teams that are playing are getting blown out by like 40 plus points. And we're losing by like like 15, which is not great, but like we're right there. Like oh my God, like the Lakers can do it. They can. Oh, it just makes me like so sad. Like, I don't want their season to be over. I want it to continue. I want this series to continue. So, fingers crossed. Let's put all of the good juju out there that the Lakers will at least bring it to a game 7. I do not want to hear what people have to say if the Lakers get swept. Like, please, 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 for the love of God, don't let them get swept. And then another thing that happened this week, which I actually don't know if it happened this week or last week, but I saw it this week. So a little summer house news. Well, actually, there's 2 summer house news stories. So Wes nudes got leaked, and for research purposes, it's like I'm here delivering pop culture news. Like, I feel like it's like my journalistic duty to like go check it out and see what it is. I wish I hadn't. I wish I hadn't. Sierra, I'm going to tell you this right now. It seems like Amanda did you the biggest favor by forcing you to not be in this man's life anymore. Because the way I would never be so hung up on what that man is offering, yeah, nah, girl, like, you'll be all right. You'll be all right for sure. And listen, I think it's horrible if someone's nudes get leaked. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not here like encouraging the person that did this, which, by the way, like, did we figure that out? Like, cause isn't that not good? Couple things I will say. If my nudes were to ever get leaked, one, like, have at it, enjoy, great, good for you, probably made your day. But like, there's only one way to go about it, and that's just to like own it and like get behind it. You know what I mean? And while I don't like West at all and like could care less, I do find it like exactly what I would. So he has a podcast, and he went on his podcast and he addressed it, and he's like, dude, he's like, my nudes leaked, and he's like, fuck, he's like, I was soft in all of them, and so like I do appreciate that. Not take West out of it, but anyone whose nudes get leaked and then they, get in front of it by fully, embracing it and talking about it versus like trying to like sweep it under the rug. I like that he was like trying to be in charge of his own narrative and like get behind the jokes and things like that. But yeah, like, nah, girl, like, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. And then in West news, again, we had the story of West and Jen Fessler possibly, allegedly having had sex before. So Jen Fessler was on Real Housewives of New Jersey, and she is married. And it all started because, obviously everyone online has been attacking West, rightfully so. And so she had put a comment and was like, oh, my little Westy bestie, like, he's so cute, like, everyone be nice to him, like, he didn't mean to hurt Sierra, like, blah blah blah. Which, like, by the way, like, your comment is stupid. Like, that just right there, like, you're not a girl's girl. Like, oh, like, what he did wasn't a big deal, or like he didn't mean to hurt her feelings. Like, bye, no one asked you. Like, literally no one asked about you. A lot of people don't even know who you are. And so then Sierra commenting right underneath, and she said, yeah, because everyone's like, why is like Jen Fessler like sticking up for West, on a random day? And Sierra's like, oh, because they slept together too. And so then, of course, the internet's going to do what they're going to do, and they're going to find everything out. And so then they lined everything up. And so basically he was on Watch What Happens Live at one point, and Andy had asked him like if he had ever, hooked up with like an older woman, and he said yes. And briefly spoke about the experience, and he said that she was in like her late 50s. So then, of course, everyone goes, Jen Fessler is 57. Then there's all these pictures of them from BravoCon that like they're just like flirting on the red carpet and pictures and things like that. And then I guess there was like an anonymous tip that's from the time of BravoCon, which I believe was in like September, I want to say September, October. I feel like, or was it in January? I don't know. Whatever. And so whatever had happened, that's allegedly when they got together. And like I said, as a reminder, she is a married woman, so not great, not a great look. And like, why would you bring attention to yourself if you know you did something wrong? You know what I mean? And it's just like Wes is just really like out here slinging his dingaling like to any and everyone. Like I'm just like, you are really like fucking up your life by poor decision making. You know what I mean? Like the way I would never like jeopardize my bag to like get with another Bravo person or like intermingle friendships and things like that. Like it's just like your head is just like so not on right, and like you're not thinking of the big picture. You're just thinking in the moment, and that to me is very dangerous and very diabolical. And then of course like Jen Fessler is like going on her stories, and she's um oh, this is insulting, and you know you're going to be liable for slander and all that. And it's like, okay, we all know the story. Like when a white person is out here saying like slander, liability, you're guilty. You're guilty, because innocent people don't need to say all of that type of things. Like they just don't. They're just like, let it go be what it is, because they have nothing to hide. When you go out of your way to try to like be dramatic, you did it. You did it. We know it. We've seen this story. So good luck with your marriage. And I hope he does find out that it's true. And I hope that the evidence keeps rolling on in, because both of you suck. Okay. Ugh. Like, what is going on with these like Bravo people lately? Ugh. 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 And speaking of ugh, when we were recording last week, I had said that it was Met Gala Day. The theme was art in costume, or art in fashion, I'm sorry. And, you know, again, I'm always looking forward to it. I want to see what people are bringing to the table. I wasn't super impressed by anything. I thought Emma Chamberlain was great. I thought she nailed it. I thought she looked incredible on the red carpet. Again, as a reminder, this is a night celebrating costume, you know, and fashion. So no, you're not gonna like. It's not wearable. You know, I'm going to the grocery store or going to a wedding type of attire. It is supposed to be avant-garde and a little bit out there and all of that. And so I do love to see people's interpretation of these different themes. And that being said, it's like I'm over the Kardashians. I mean, we all have been over them for a while. The Kardashian Jenners, like I love Kylie, don't get me wrong, she is incredible to watch her life and all of those things. But it's like we're seeing the same thing year after year from you guys. Okay, cool. You all have incredible bodies. You're going to showcase that, whether it's through latex or beading or sheer, you know, like we get it. But like lean into something a little bit more. And so Kylie wore this Schiaparelli like basically like undone um dress, you know, where it was like the illusion of just like her upper body, and then they're like sewing the dress, and so it's like hanging over. And arguably like Travis and Courtney did that a few years ago. I think they wore who did they wear? Tom York? Did they wear? I forgot who they wore, but yeah, they did it a few years ago where they wore like a deconstructed suit or whatever. So I just like, yet again, Met Gala, like you have all the possibility in the world, and yet we're getting mediocre results. So let's try again next year, I guess. Um, Speaking of try again, you know, TikTok specifically this week has been going on their conspiracy theory again that there is supposed, trouble in paradise for Justin and Haley, and Justin's, social media stories have been a little erratic lately, and I just feel bad for them as a couple because one, like, his fame is just something none of us will ever be able to identify with, or understand what that pressure looks like, the constant eyes on you all of the time. Like, I could never ever live that type of life. So I commend anyone who does and isn't crazy, because I would be crazy, or I'd be a hermit. Like, I would stay in my home. Like, they just, like, it's like you can't go anywhere. And so I do feel bad for them because I mean, clearly I do think that he suffers from some, you know, um, mental hardship. And again, I think anyone in his position would. And so, obviously he came off from performing at Coachella on a high. And I'm sure, like, leading up to it, there's a lot of prep that happens. And then I'm sure that there is this, like your adrenaline is going so much, like, leading up to everything and in the moments, and then after it's just like, oh, okay, like, how do I regulate again back to normalcy, or like, what am I, like, working towards next, or whatever the case may be. And so they were saying, like, how, like, Haley went to the Met by herself, and she's been to a couple things solo, and it's like, okay, and, like, just because she's married doesn't mean she can't go anywhere by herself. Like, she's still her own human being. She's still a grown woman. Like, she's allowed to go to things without her husband, without everyone speculating that she's getting a divorce. So, like, I do wish the best for them. And, like, I don't know. God, it would just, like, be, like, so annoying and hard to, like, constantly have people commenting on your marriage and what they think is right, what they think isn't right. You guys could be so happy. This happens in, like, normal life, where, like, you guys could not a problem in sight, and, like, someone says one thing and then it, like, triggers an argument between the two of you guys when nothing was even wrong to begin with. And so I just, I obviously I love pop culture, and I love, like, having access into these celebrities' lives, and we get to see everything now. But, like, I do think that there is some cutoff, like, there needs to be some type of, like, allowing them their own space without opinions. So I do think that there is a balance that needs to happen. So I do hope the best for them. I hope that everything is good. And with that being said, it also goes along with the Brooklyn Beckham situation is still, a conversation that people are having, and, they're again weighing in on it. And, like, is there ever going to be reconciliation? I mean, I can't remember how many months ago, but it's like he flat out said, like, that there's, a divide in the family, and that there is problems between him and his mom specifically. But it's just like, so I don't know why, like, people are still, like, speculating, like, oh, is there a problem? Isn't there? Like, no, we do know it is. The reason that we're so into their family drama is because, like, it's like nepotism at its finest. You know what I mean? It's like a real life succession in front of our eyes. Like, they are these two wealthy families. Everyone should just be, like, getting along. I do hope that they can find reconciliation at some point, because, again, like I said, like, they have the means to live whatever type of life they want. And I, like, feel like they should just be, like, happy with one another, and, like, intermingling their families and going on these fabulous vacations and creating core memories. And it does make me sad that, he essentially has, like, ostracized himself from the rest of his family, which again, like, you could take it both ways. Like, if everyone else doesn't have a problem, then, like, are you the problem? Or is everyone else too afraid to speak up and they do feel that way, but you're the only one who has, like, distanced yourself? So I don't know. Let me know how you guys feel, and, like, what your thoughts are on it, because I do, like, just, like, find it to just be, like, so interesting, because have gotten like a little glimpse that like obviously something is wrong, but like I just like need the Beckhams to confirm. I really need Victoria to be like, yeah, I hate her, you know? I hate my daughter-in-law. um so yeah, I kind of just like wanted to like get into like all of the little gossipy things that were going on this week. Like I said, I feel like I had like such a busy, fulfilling week, and I hope that they continue. I my friend is coming to town, I think he's coming next week, I think. And then my other friend from back home and her husband and her kids are going to be here. So I have a very filled month with my East Coast friends coming to see me, which like again, like this like rarely happens. So it's so fun. And we've been having great weather, which makes me excited. I am going, oh my gosh, I'm going to the safari park this week. I have never been to the safari park. I've lived here for 14 years. Remember back in November when my guy friends had come, we went to the zoo, which I hadn't been since I was 21. But they also, so the San Diego Zoo is like down by me. And then there is the San Diego Safari Park, which is like same their own, the zoo owns both of them, but it's in Escondido. So it's like 35 minutes northeast, I guess, of me. But it's like way like vaster fields for the animals to like run free in, and they just built this new thing called Elephant Valley, and there's a restaurant where you can just like sit and just like watch the elephants. But a lot of people go there because apparently like again like it's like massive and there's like a lot of hills, so it's like great for walking. So my friend has a pass and we're going to go there on Wednesday, which I'm super excited about. So I will report back to you guys on my thoughts about that. Um, and then, yeah, just kind of like, again, back to my workouts. Let's keep my books being busy and just hoping for the best for everything. I feel like I'm bringing a different energy this week than I was last week. Hopefully, that is portrayed to you guys. And it is a reminder that we are allowed to feel off sometimes, be off, and sit in that feeling, and then just realize that we can't sit in that for too long and we have to get ourselves out of it. And there's a lot to enjoy and appreciate about life. And yes, it is heavy right now. Yes, it is stressful right now, but we just got to keep on trucking through. So that is my piece of advice for everyone this week, is to just make the best of everything. Remember, we are putting all the good juju out there for the Lakers. Go Lakers. Make sure that you are following me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. All of the info can be found in the description below. Also, make sure that you're subscribed. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I'm Kyra, and this is your reminder that having it mostly together still counts. See you next week. Bye.